Warning: the following video may contain harsh language, crude humor, and may offend unintentionally, and is an affiliate of Scythe Ring Productions. The opinions and comments expressed do not reflect those of the Scythe Ring team. All credit and criticism shall be warranted to TWS Productions. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, wrestling fans! Pop a squat right here on the couch. Let's talk some wrestling because it's time for That Wrestling Show. Have you heard this recently? Sunny, Tammy Lynn Cinch, actually went to the courts and begged to get the restraining order lifted off of her ex-boyfriend because she wants to go talk to him, see him, like the last time that ever happened went real well, and try to move past things. And unfortunately, the courts told her no, that's not going to happen. In fact, the last time that did happen, she went to jail 5 times, last time I checked, within the span of 6 weeks. Yeah, I don't know if this guy, like, has the biggest dick in the world, if he's got, like, 12-pack abs that can make his boobs flex. Maybe he gives the best orgasms, maybe he's got a lot of money, I don't know. But I think right now, Sunny needs to focus more on herself and going into rehab and actually taking care of herself rather than trying to patch things up with her ex-boyfriend, because let's face it, anytime you mention Sunny, usually jail, drugs, alcohol, or her ex-boyfriend kind of comes into mix, and it's kind of sad that, again, we're going in this entire circle. Sunny, you're just one of the legends that just needs help, and, you know, I think personally it'd be good if you went and got help instead of leeching off of your boyfriend every once in a while, you know? I mean, that's the way I think. Oh, and hey, listen to this. Monday Night Raw will be reaching its 20th anniversary, January 14th of 2013. And the word going around right now is that WWE has been reaching out to some of their older stars and even some celebrities to try to get back into Monday Night Raw to kind of make it a little bit more alive, a little bit more special. But with Raw already being 3 hours, how special could it be? I mean, what are you going to have? Bob Barker, William Shatner, Jeremy Piven just show up for no reason? Yeah, are they going to do it by tout, or are they going to, I don't know, do it on Skype? I mean, come on. The whole social ambassador thing kind of fell through. They did that, what, 4 times, and that kind of sunk? It would be nice to see some old stars and old legends back to Monday Night Raw, at least for one night. You know, knowing WWE, they'll get The Rock, Mick Foley, Stone Cold, and say, yeah, those were old stars that worked Monday Night Raw. Yeah, sure, that'd be great. You know, hopefully that we get some new faces. The last time they did it was actually pretty good. We had Sid, we had Vader, we had Lita, we had the Acolytes, the APA. Doink the Clown, it was, you know, yeah, but it was still nice to see. I mean, what the hell? It was something different for a change. It were old stars that we all kind of went, oh yeah, I remember that guy. So, what the hell? It would be nice to see some old talent return back to the ring. Who knows? Maybe Edge will be back, or Shawn Michaels will be back. And oh wait, that's a little too recent. But you know, that's WWE. And hey, did you hear this? Believe it or not, Monday Night Raw actually drew pretty low numbers. But the reports that are coming out right now, get ready for this, are because of Monday Night Football. You know, I hear this all the time, especially around football season, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but come on. Monday Night Football, you're going to blame football because of your low ratings? That's absolutely ridiculous. Not to split hairs or anything here, but pro wrestling, football, they're 2 totally different sports, and I highly doubt that a football fan is going to be a wrestling fan. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm just saying that, you know, they're 2 totally different sports, and people that are into football are into football, and people that are into wrestling are into wrestling. They're not really going to choose back and forth. And I'm sure there's a couple of fans out there that, you know, are football fans and are wrestling fans, but you can't blame Monday Night Football on the reason why Monday Night Raw had low numbers. That's like saying, oh, well, the Avengers 2 came out and people went to go see the Avengers and that's why Raw was bad. No, you can't do that. It's a totally different demographic, and the report that came out, personally, I think it's absolutely stupid, and hopefully they get their heads out of their asses and they actually give us an actual number, an actual figure as to why Monday Night Raw did so poorly. Maybe it's the fact that people are just getting a little tired of the same old, garbage that they've been spouting around for a while. Yeah, they got some new developments with the Shield and, with the whole Ryback, CM Punk, John Cena, AJ thing, but there's not a whole lot of meat to the potatoes, and there's not a whole lot of sizzle to the steak. I mean, there's enough to keep you interested, but it's not like there's anything earth-shaking going on. If you miss Monday Night Raw, it doesn't really feel like you missed something, as opposed to, you missed Raw, you'll just catch it on the replay, you'll just catch it next week. It's, not something earth-shattering. And I think they've kind of missed that over the years. That's how I feel about it. But the big news that is breaking out is they're actually going to try to make a concrete announcement. Yes, a concrete announcement on the network on Monday Night Raw. Now, those of you that don't know about the network, I don't blame you, because who wants to know about the network? I mean, they tried to replace the whole on-demand thing and the 24/7 thing. They're trying to get rid of that altogether, and they want to have this whole network that shows Legends Around Table, Legends House, and all their licensed material, whether it be AWA, WCW, Mid-South, and their old WWF days and their WWE Glory days, that whole 3-month period they had. But what's kind of funny is they've been trying to get this off the ground for almost a year and a half now, and they're just now going, well, we're going to make a concrete decision. Guys, no, you don't need a network for all that stuff, because you're already on YouTube. You're already posting your stuff on YouTube. You have Are You Serious? Santina Morella's show. You've got the Backstage Assault, and that's all on YouTube, and you guys are the ones telling us to go watch it on YouTube. Hell! You even have matches on YouTube. You even post your Monday Night Raws on YouTube, because it says posted by WWE right there in the corner. So why would you have us pay for a service when you could just use YouTube and use the ad revenue to garner more money? Yes, I'm sure subscriptions would be worth more, but if you have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people watching Are You Serious on Saturday, that's going to generate a lot of ad revenue. I mean, I know I'm just a tiny, small, little YouTube, shit that, isn't going to make any money off of this. But if you really think about it, with all the social connections you have and all the social media you have, you figure partnering with YouTube and actually having some kind of agreement that whatever you post and ads, and you figure that would make the most perfect logical sense, because more people are doing stuff on their phone, more people are doing stuff on laptops, it's more mobile, and YouTube is one of those facets. You don't need a network, just do it all on YouTube. Just do it all on YouTube. The real reason why you're not doing it on YouTube is because people can steal your material, but unfortunately, they're going to even steal it off of the network. So just, guys, stop with the network. Just post all the stuff on YouTube, or Dailymotion, or Tumblr, or any other video facet where you can just sign up for free and watch your stuff and let the ad revenues just, sponsor it. That will work. I promise you. I guarantee you. Just take it from me. I would know. And hey, have you heard this bit of news? WWE actually might not be using the tout service anymore. Or at least they're going to try to implement it a little bit more on the show, because they haven't really had time to actually use the tout service, mainly because they're working more so on the production values of Monday Night Raw. I kind of find it funny that the last time they actually did use the tout service was at the pay-per-view, when they were trying to discuss who was going to win the actual match, Ryback, Cena, or CM Punk, and even that they didn't really do all that well. It seems kind of funny and ironic, though, that WWE comes out with this whole new technological thing, tout, log on your computer, log on via your smartphone, and, log on. Well, you have this wonderful application where you can record a 15-second video and you might be on Monday Night Raw. And then they really don't use it all that much. Does it necessarily mean that the tout service is going to be eliminated or completely washed away under the carpet? I really don't know, to be 100% honest. I mean, if you ask me, I'm not a big fan of tout. I personally don't think the fans really need to be involved in the product other than watching and actually voicing their opinions in the crowd. They don't need to go on a mobile device and say, well, that show sucked and that was horrible, blah, blah, blah. No, because you don't really need to air that on. Hey, come on. They're all marks anyway. If you say, who's going to win? John Cena, yay! Come on, they're all marky people. I would beg to see someone go on there and actually express their actual opinions and feelings on it. But is tout going away? I wouldn't say it's going away, but we shall see, if they cut it off completely. They'll probably just be using it less and less and less because more people kind of went, it's not really all that great, to be honest. In fact, the WWE wrestlers actually use title a little bit more than everybody else does, and that's kind of bad. And get this, folks, and I'm not making this up, but you ever wonder why the John Cena AJ storyline kind of, it cut off out of nowhere, and they just kind of went, let's kind of sweep it under the carpet. Well, believe it or not, the whole AJ Cena, Vicky Ziggler story that they were trying to kind of sort of build, well, yeah, there's a reason why they stopped it abruptly, and that's because John Cena is dating one of the Bella twins, and unfortunately, the photos of John Cena going to one of the Bella's high school reunions, that photo leaked online, and unfortunately, that kind of, would kind of ruin the entire storyline. If John Cena is dating, we'll say Brie Bella, and he's supposed to be dating AJ, but if that photo actually was to come out to WWE and let the whole universe know, then that would pretty much prove the entire storyline invalid, that Cena and AJ, like we all know, were telling the truth and nothing was really going on. I mean, the evidence is just as boring and bland as ever. But I kind of find it funny that this storyline is kind of dropped off the shelf and dropped off the cliff, kind of in the same fashion that the TNA AJ, ironically, Claire Litch storyline ended with a photo of her being somewhere else with someone else. Yeah. You see, WWE, this is why you don't do storylines off of a crap show that shows you crap wrestling with crap writers. You don't take something that's crap and try to shine it up and make it even better crap. It didn't work in the first place, and the only shining example that I can see coming out of this is Dolph Ziggler's mic skills haven't improved. Dolph Ziggler's selling has even improved. Go figure. And I have a feeling that pretty soon Ziggler is going to break away from Vicky Guerrero, and you never know, he just might become a face and go after Punk for the title. Is that going to happen? Probably not, but you can kind of see the building blocks a little bit there. He's already Money in the Bank. Royal Rumble is coming up. There is a possibility he could do a cash-in and win the Rumble and go for a title for title. It ain't going to happen, but it's a nice thought if you kind of think about it. Oh, and get this interesting piece of news, and again, I wish I was making this up, but Vince McMahon responded on the .com, on WWE.com, in a whole letter that CM Punk is injured. Yes, he hurt his knee, he's going in for surgery, he is out of TLC. Probably a good thing. I find the ironic thing, though, is that he surpassed John Cena's record, and the only reason why John Cena, kind of got screwed out of that one, the whole Edge thing, and surgery and stuff, yeah. But yeah, he passes John Cena's record, he hurts his knee, he will not be able to compete in TLC, so they've decided to replace the main event, which means we're not going to have a WWE title match actually at TLC, which has got to be a first in a very, very, very long time. They've replaced that main event with The Shield against Ryback and Team Hell No. That didn't bother me. What kind of bothered me is the fact that he said, and I quote, TLC will have tables, ladders, chairs, and pinfalls will be implemented. Okay, so how do pinfalls get implemented in a TLC? I mean, I've never went to a wrestling academy. I don't know much about journalism, and I can tell you right now, I wouldn't, I'm not saying that I'm a booker or anything, or nor do I have any kind of wrestling knowledge outside of what I've seen on TV, whether it be Japanese, Mexican, American, Canadian, or British wrestling. But if you're having a gimmick match like a TLC, where a table is involved, where a ladder is involved, and a chair is involved, why would you have a pinfall? In fact, why would a pinfall even be considered an option? Because if you have a pinfall in a TLC, what's the point of having a table? Well, you can use the table to incapacitate your opponent, but in a tables match, you throw them through the table to eliminate them. Well, what's the purpose of a chairs match? Well, to take the chair and to beat the crap out of them, and chairs are the only weapon that can be used in that match. And if that's the route they're going to go, it makes no sense that they're going to have tables and ladders. And the whole point of the ladder match is to scale the ladder and grab something, whether it be a briefcase, a contract, a clipboard, a title belt, your life on your career on the pole. And that's the whole point of a ladder match. So if they're going to have a TLC match and pinfalls are implemented, how does that work? Is that anything like a reverse cage match where the first two in the cage get to fight? Or is it a reverse Royal Rumble? You get thrown in the ring, you're eliminated? I don't understand who came up with this concept and who thought it was a brilliant idea, but to be 100% honest, I'm still scratching my head and I still don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe they worded it wrong, maybe I read it wrong, but what do you think? And the last little bit of news here is, well, the whole status of the WWE title. There are so many rumors running around right now, floating, and there are theories, and, I'm sure the government is involved, and there's a 9/11 pool, and the Manchurian Candidate, the Mars lunar landing. Everyone is involved, and they got this huge theory, but the big theory that right now that is kind of breaking ground, and take this with a little grain of salt because I don't believe it personally, but they're thinking that the whole Rock Punk main event at the Royal Rumble, one of two things could happen, at least the way that they're explaining it. We could have the Brock Lesnar show up, cost Rock a match, and you would essentially have Rock versus Brock at WrestleMania 29. Now, I don't know if that's really going to draw any money, concerning we saw them wrestle, 10 years ago, and it's not that it wasn't a great match, but that's when they were kind of in their prime. Now, fast forward 10 years, I don't want to say that Brock Lesnar can have a good match, but he can have a great match, and The Rock is not the catch-can technical Bret Hart. He's The Rock. He's got 5 moves to his name, maybe a spinebuster and a DDT he can add to his repertoire. I just don't see the two of them having a good wrestling match. They could have a good fight, don't get me wrong. If they want to book it as a fight, that could work, but as a match, I don't know. But the other thing is, and this kind of pisses me off, is they said, well, The Rock was promised the title, and he's going to get it from CM Punk, and if that's the route they're going to go, that's going to piss off, I don't know how many of you it's going to piss off, but it's going to piss someone like me off. And it has nothing to do with CM Punk. It could be John Cena holding the title. It could be Dolph Ziggler holding the title. It could be Zack Ryder. No, it can't be Zack Ryder, but you get my point. Whoever's holding that title, as the Shield has mentioned, whoever's holding that title deserves to be respected. Punk has gone a year plus with this title belt. Yeah, it hasn't been the most exciting thing in the world, but next to John Cena, he's the longest reigning WWE champion we've had in the last 10 years. There's not a lot of guys that were actually able to hold it that long. And yeah, his feuds are a little bit monotonous because, I don't really care much about Ryback and the whole Cena thing. Cena got hurt and they went a different route, and they're trying to pull The Miz into it. I understand that. Personally, for me, it would hurt me as a wrestling fan because the title belt will be relegated back to a prop. Just to give to The Rock, just so we can have a match with Cena, or The Rock, or CM Punk again. You can't do that. The title belt should not be relegated as a prop, or it shouldn't even be considered a placeholder. Whoever holds a title belt, whether it's the US title, the Intercontinental title, the Tag Team title, any title for that matter, should be established and considered the top of their class. Considering, what right way they want to go. So, having Rock show up for one pay-per-view, win the title, and not defend it until WrestleMania, or Elimination Chamber, or whatever they're going to call it this time, that's kind of a slap in the face, because that means they gave the title for CM Punk to hold it for a year and a half, just to drop it to a guy who wrestles one match. The last time they did that was back in '93. And everyone knows what happened to Hulk Hogan then. It didn't work. It didn't work at all. Nobody cared. You know why nobody cared? Because no one cared. I hate to break off topic here, but WrestleMania 9 wasn't the greatest pay-per-view in the world. It was kind of, But Bret Hart was a fighting champion. Bret Hart lost to Yokozuna. Hulk Hogan comes in, beats Yoko. Doesn't that kind of devalue the former champion? I mean, that's how I looked at it. I can't stand when guys that are way past their prime, that haven't even been in the ring, in the span of a 7-month period, just show up, get a title match, win, and walk away. That to me, that's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to your fans, it's disrespectful to your company, and it's disrespectful to all the people that actually help create the business you're in. And there are some people that are going to say, but it's good for business. You don't know what draws money. You're just a simple wrestling fan that thinks he knows what he wants, but you only know because we tell you. No, it has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with Punk being champion or Cena being champion or anything of that fact. But if you're going to have a guy hold that title for that length of time, just to drop it to a guy who shows up for one night, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know it. I know it. The entire world knows it. And hopefully WWE will pull their heads out of their asses and go, you could have a good match with Rock. And if Punk beats The Rock, that would establish him as the guy. They don't know who they're going to have beat him, but it would establish him as the guy. They did that once before with other guys, like Triple H, and that was about it. But they could do it. They could so do it, and it's not that hard. Just have him beat The Rock. It doesn't have to be clean, per se. Hit him with a low blow or something. 1, 2, 3. As long as CM Punk gets the win without outside interference or any kind of bullshit, it will establish Punk as an actual, credible champion. You have him drop it to The Rock, who's been off making movies and coming back, one match, 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. You can't do that. No, you cannot do that. That's disrespectful to the company, it's disrespectful to your title, and it's disrespectful to all the guys in the back that, let's face it, have been busting their ass just as hard as ever to get a title shot. The Rock shows up for one night, wins the belt. No. Hopefully they're going to go a totally different route. Those are the big rumors that are floating around. I don't know if I believe them myself. But again, those are my opinions. I thank everyone for popping a squat, sitting with me, and chatting with me about pro wrestling. Go figure. Not a whole lot with the whole TNA thing, other than the fact that they're cutting pay-per-views left and right. And they're probably trying to reduce it from, I think it's a 12-month pro format to a 10-month. They should probably knock it down to 8, to be honest, and see how that works out. I am DM from That Wrestling Show saying it's a pleasure being back, and it's a pleasure finally showing up and finally doing a show. Things are finally starting to roll into frame. Things are finally starting to take focus. I actually have time to do these shows now, and hopefully I'll be able to continue this. Hopefully you like the brand new format. I will see you all next time.